Why do some people seem to bounce back from adversity and misfortune, while others fall apart and seem unable to overcome the tough times? Resilience is, right now, a hot topic in the workforce and the space of corporate mental health. Having resilience can not only boost productivity in staff, it can also significantly reduce healthcare expenses. In today's Science of Happiness video, I'm going to show you my top 5 power tips to build a resilient new you. The greatest differentiation of resilient people is their expectation of bouncing back and confidence in doing so. They have a natural instinct for creating good luck out of bad circumstances. Resilient people are able to see things from another person's point of view. When we have empathy for others, we feel a connectedness, we feel less alone, and we experience a relief from the pain that we've been suffering from. A direct result is that we recover more quickly. Psychologists agree that some people are born with greater resilience than others. They also suggest that it is possible for us all to develop and nurture our own resilience. The key is adjusting to how we think about adversity. The same characteristics that make people resilient are also traits which can enrich and expand the happiness in our lives. The first step in building resilience is to learn to play with the positive. Resilient people have an ability to experience both negative and positive emotions while experiencing difficult or painful situations. While they endure the pains and losses and suffer from frustrations, they also find the positive value in tough times and challenges. When people who lack resilience face difficulties, their emotions turn to the negative. If things are good, they feel good, but if things are bad, they feel bad. Resilient people, on the other hand, have the predilection towards finding a silver lining in even the worst of circumstances. While they see and acknowledge the bad, they work to find a way to also see the good. While it may be said that a resilient person is merely camouflaging the negative emotions, this is not really the case. What they do is work at sitting next to the positive feelings. They have the ability to see through the circumstance and still have a focal point on gratitude for the positive. For many people, this balanced emotional response is not a naturally occurring one. But by challenging your reflective thoughts and your self-talk, this is something that can be changed. To change emotional patterns, sometimes what we need to do is consciously stop ourselves in thought and shift from negative thinking to positive thinking. Stopping with negative self-talk is the first step in changing our poor thinking patterns. Built-in survival mechanisms ensure that our brains are naturally wired to pay more attention to negative events than positive ones. One key to building resilience is to give attention to positive circumstances and experiences whenever and wherever they occur, and consciously work at expanding those to become the predominant pattern of thought. The second step in building resilience is to see challenges as opportunities. The more you can turn challenges into opportunities, the more you will grow and evolve, and the more resilient you're likely to become. The one thing resilient people do is immediately look at a problem and say, what's the solution to that problem? What is this situation trying to teach me? Looking at tough situations as opportunities not only builds further resiliency, it also builds confidence. One strategy for building resilience is to use a questioning thinking mindset, a method of problem solving developed by psychotherapist Marilee Adams. Question thinking encourages people to approach challenges and situations with a neutral, non-judgmental stance. Questions such as, what is useful here, or what are my choices, as opposed to judging questions like, what's wrong or who's to blame. This process not only is empowering, but promotes more expansive thinking and acceptance. It can also improve how we relate to others and how you can create more meaningful connections with others, another essential component in resilience. The third step in building resilience is to be of service to others. Being of service to others is a powerful way of building resilience. Researchers found that serotonin, the neurotransmitter associated with feelings of happiness and well-being, is used more efficiently by people who have just engaged in an act of kindness. Acts of kindness can be as simple as getting out there and finding people to smile at, or speak an encouraging word to. When adversity strikes, gratitude for the things that are going right in your life helps to put tragedy into perspective. I often recommend that people start a 30-day gratitude journal, consciously drawing attention to the positive things that they take for granted. It's a great step in building resilience and happiness. The fourth step in increasing and building your resilience is to spend time in nature. Now, while this might sound simplistic, research suggests that spending just 20 minutes outside in nice weather leads to more expansive and more open thinking, which also helps to combat anxiety and depression, improve immunity, and lowers levels of inflammatory chemicals in the body. Walking on the grass barefoot has a number of exceptional mental and physical health benefits. The fifth and final step in building resilience is to establish positive connections. Surrounding yourself with positive, happy people who inspire you to be the best you can be. And for some people, a good measure is those around us who believe more in us than we actually do in ourselves. Research indicates that strong social connections increase our resilience in the face of illness. A study of nearly 3,000 nurses with breast cancer found that those with 10 or more friends were 4 times more likely to survive the disease than nurses without close friends. I want you to share this with people you know, perhaps loved ones or family members, who you think will really benefit from this simple resilience presentation. The people who can most benefit from this are those struggling with tragedy, loss, or pain and can't see beyond the horizon to move themselves into a happier place. If you have a personal story about resilience or a tragedy that you've overcome, why not be of service to others and build your own resilience by sharing your story in the comments section below. I'm Drew Lesser, and thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week on The Science of Happiness.